A very good morning to everyone present here. I am Trishnita Bhattacharya, and I welcome you all to the 8th National Conference of the Ocean Society of India, OSICON-23, which has the focal theme this year as the Operational Oceanography, Science to Services, hence INCOIS. It is an absolute honor and pleasure for INCOIS to be able to host OSICON-23 this year, and this is an amazing opportunity for scientists, students, technicians, academics, and absolutely anyone who is interested in the field, the core fields and the allied fields of oceanography to interact, to exchange ideas, and just have an amazing time at this mega event. With this, I throw open OSICON 2023. I would now like to invite the dignitaries on stage. I request Dr. M. Ravi Chandran, Secretary to the Government of India, MOES, to please grace the dais. Thank you, sir. I would also like to invite Professor Harsh K. Gupta, former Secretary DOD and member of the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, to please grace the dais. Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Dr. Shailesh Nayak, Honorary Fellow of OSI and former Secretary MOES, to please come to the dais. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Dr. N.P. Kurian, President of OSI, to please come to the dais and grace this platform. Thank you, sir. I would now invite our Director, Dr. T. Srinivas Kumar, and also scientist, our very own scientist, Dr. Pattabhi Rama Rao, to please accompany all the dignitaries. Thank you, sir. At the beginning of the program, I would like to invite Malvika Sudhakaran to start the program with a little invocation. I request everyone to rise, please.
जगज्जालपालं कजत्कण्ठमालं शरच्चन्द्रपालं महादैत्यकालं नभो नीलकायं दुरावारमायं सुपद्मासहायं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् सदाम्भोदिवासं गलत्पुष्पहासं जगत्सन्निवासं सदादित्यभासम् गदाचक्रशस्त्रं लसत्पीतवस्त्रं हसच्चारुवक्त्रं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् रमाकण्डहारं श्रुतिव्रातसारं जलान्तर्विहारं धराभारहारं चिदानन्दरूपं मनोज्ञस्वरूपं धृदानेकरूपं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् जगज्जालपालं कजत्कण्ठमालं शरच्चन्द्रपालं महादैत्यकालम् नभो नीलकायं दुरावारमायं सुपद्मासहायं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम्.
Thank you, Malvika. I would now request the dignitaries to please commence the lighting of the lamps. Thank you, sir. I would now request our director, sir, to please present a bouquet of flowers to the dignitaries. First, I would like to invite our chief guest, Dr. M. Ravichandran, to please accept a token of our appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I would now like to invite Professor Harsh Gupta to please accept a bouquet. Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Dr. Shailesh Nayak to please accept our token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. And finally, I would like to invite Dr. N.P. Kurian, President OSI, to please accept our token of appreciation. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite our director again for the welcome address. Is it okay if I keep?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Trishnita. Distinguished guests on the dais, our beloved secretary, Dr. M. Ravichandran, Professor Harsh Gupta, former secretary, DOD, Dr. Shailesh Nayak, former secretary, MOES, and honorary fellow of OSI, and our former director, Dr. Rajivan, former secretary, MOES, and Dr. P.S. Goel, former secretary, MOES, who will be joining us later during the conference, Dr. N.P. Kurian, president, OSI, Dr. Baba, and other OSI office bearers, distinguished guests in the audience, including our former director, Dr. Shanai, attendees of the conference, students, young researchers, industry partners, media representatives, my dear friends and colleagues of INCOIS. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you to INCOIS and to Hyderabad. Today, 23rd of August, 2023 is such a great day for INCOIS as we host the inaugural function of the 8th Ocean Society of India, OSICON-23. One of the many events that INCOIS is planning as it is celebrating this year, the Silver Jubilee year, that will culminate on 3rd February 2024. And this event is extra special as we have this rare occasion of hosting our secretary and several former secretaries of DOD and MOES who have been involved in conceptualizing, planning, and realization of INCOIS as a global center for excellence in operational oceanography. Thank you all, sir, once again for agreeing to be part of this event and being amongst us. Today is also marked by an event of immense importance for all of us and for our country, the planned soft landing of our prestigious Chandrayaan-3 mission on the moon's surface, sometime to happen by today evening. All of us share the excitement and optimism for its success and wish our best to ISRO team and to all of us. Amidst rapid strides in space domain for the past several decades, and despite more recent advancements in ocean research, our explorations have covered only a fraction of the vast expanses of our ocean even today. We still know more about the surface of the Mars and the Moon than about the bottom of the ocean. INCOIS, together with its sister institutions and past partner institutions, has been playing a bit in changing this scenario by implementing important programs of our ministry related to observations, modeling, forecasting services, deep ocean mission, and so on. Against this backdrop, we assemble here for the OSICON-23, a conference that unites a significant proportion of the oceanographic community in the whole country. Now, OSICON is a biennial conference. I'm sure Dr. Kurian will talk a bit more about it, and it's the only professional society dedicated to ocean professionals in the country. This brings together colleagues to discuss ocean matters and then share insights. And crucial to the success of OSICON has been collaborations with the different MOS institutions, and I'm happy to say that this is the 6th conference of OSICON out of the 8, which has been hosted by one or the other MOS institutes actually. And as I told you before, INCOIS is in its silver jubilee year, and it stands as one of the foremost centers in operational oceanography, and they are closely, our services and activities are closely aligned with the SDG 14, which is life underwater. And the spectrum of critical operational services range from tsunami warning systems to potential fishing zones to ocean state forecasts, which deliver a diverse array of benefits to stakeholders, starting from fishermen to navies and coast guards and several disaster managers and so on. And the benefits of our services have been assessed by several agencies, and then, like for example, they bring about 30 to 70% reduction in search time for the fishermen, and a single tsunami warning, which actually can prevent an evacuation for an event per state, can bring in benefit of about 3,600 crores. Now, those are the kind of economic impacts of our advisories, and that work we do also feeds to science-based policy that actually the ministries, our Ministry of Earth Sciences and other ministries actually bring out for the country for the sustainable management of the oceans. And even in the international scenario, INCOIS, the standing of INCOIS has been quite high. We have been actually identified as a Category 2 center under UNESCO for the training in operational oceanography. This is the building that you're sitting in right now is actually belonging to the ITCO Ocean, where we train hundreds of researchers, not only from within the country, but from the entire Indo-Pacific rim. And we also are one of the tsunami service providers for the entire Indian Ocean region. We host the secretariats of the Indian Ocean Goose, Cyber, IAOE2 project office, and we are involved with a lot of international activities. And so today also, as we speak, later in the event, we'll be actually launching a host of services at the hands of our secretary and other dignitaries here. You'll see the new products that we are coming up. And then later in the event today, we are also having a launch of the Decade Collaborative Center for the Indian Ocean region, which is going to be a key keg in the implementation of Ocean Decade within the Indian Ocean region. We'll also have a launch of services that we are going to provide to the WMO as an RSMC. So all this, this is an exciting time for us and to INCOIS. And I would like to, in closing, acknowledge the support of the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Department of Space, CSIR, NCES, NIOT, CMFRI, NCPOR, NCMRWF, NIOT, CMLRE for sponsoring this event, and also our industry partners including Pan India Consultants, Agista Industries, Tridal, Samhita, SGS, Norinco, Business Octane, Esri India, Comsat, and all other partners, and then several exhibitors who have been here to exhibit their products for the benefit of all of us, like we have SAC, NRSC, NIOT, Pan India, Tridal, SWAN, Agista, DTPL, Enviro, Crestron, Sigma AVIT, and so on. And the success of OSICON rests in all of your hands, and we received about 500 abstracts. We could select about 266 to be presented in about 6 parallel sessions. We have about 77 posters. We have, most importantly, we have actually been able to get speakers, very eminent speakers, 5 plenary speakers. I request you to make use of this opportunity. They are all under one roof, going to be here for the next 3 days. And so you should actually listen to their lectures and then make a lot of benefit out of their presence here. Once again, I welcome all of you to INCOIS, sir. And then all of you, to this wonderful event, friends. And then I hope you have a very pleasant stay at Hyderabad and at INCOIS. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. N.P. Kurian to present the address by the President.
Good morning, one and all. Chief guest of the day, Dr. Ravichandran. Guests of honor, Professor Harsh Gupta, Dr. Shailesh Naik, INCOIS Director, Dr. Srinivasa Kumar, Convener of OSICON-23, Dr. Pattabi Ramarao, distinguished invitees in the audience, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I welcome all of you to this important function of the OSICON 2023 on behalf of the Ocean Society of India. As you all know, OSI is a professional society of ocean scientists and technologies of the country. It has a mission to provide a forum for sharing the knowledge and experience of individuals, research institutions, and industrial organizations in ocean science, technology, and allied fields. OSI, with its registered office at CMLRA Kochi, has 651 life members from all over the country. Presently, OSI has its local chapters at Chennai, Kochi, Pune, NCR Delhi, and Goa. And we look forward to having more chapters within the next few years. OSI has signed MOU with various organizations related to ocean and allied sciences: Indian Meteorological Society, IMS, Federation of Indian Geosciences Associations, FIGA. It has observer status at International Seabed Authority, ISA. OSI is involved in multifarious activities in fulfillment of its mandate. The first and foremost is the organization of workshops, conferences, webinars. OSI has been organizing the biennial Ocean OSI conference, OSICON, since 2009. 7 OSICON conferences have been organized so far, and this is the 8th one. All these conferences were hosted by leading academic and research institutions of the country. OSI, through its local chapters, has also been conducting workshops, seminars, and training programs periodically. Monthly webinars are being conducted. It was started during the pandemic, and it is continuing even now with it's a big success. OSI also collaborates with other organizations in organizing conferences such as TopMet, World Meteorological Day, Intromet, Oceans 2022, etc. Now, another important activity is the conferment of awards and fellowships. The first and foremost is the Dr. D. Srinivasan Endowment Award. OSI has instituted this award in memory of Dr. D. Srinivasan, former director of NPOL and NSTL, and one of the pioneers of naval ocean research in India. Commencing from the year 2019, this award is being given once in 2 years and carries a citation, memento, cash prize presented during OSICON. Let me place on record our deep-hearted thanks to the family of Dr. Srinivasan sir, who have made a generous contribution to the endowment fund. We are honored to have the presence of Mr. Sridhar Srinivasan, who is here taking all the pains to come over. He has just reached here from Mauritius this morning, so that is the sort of interest that he has taken, and he deserves all appreciation for that. We have the honorary fellowships and fellowships awarded every year to outstanding scientists. I understand that there is another function where I will be just mentioning about the details of these. Then we have the PG dissertation awards for youngsters, then the best paper awards, then of course we have the publications, that is the Ocean Digest, it's the quarterly e-journal. The OSI joins the international community every year to observe World Oceans Day and International Coastal Cleanup Day. With increasing membership and patronage from leading institutions, the OSI plans to play a dominant role in the development of ocean sciences and technology in the country. These include playing a pivotal role in the development of human resources in the field, sensitizing school children on ocean sciences, conducting training programs for policymakers and engineers to alleviate the knowledge gap, sensitizing the local community in creating a litter-free coast through tie-up with the coastal NGOs. So like that, we have several programs in our mind which we want to implement in the coming years. I take this opportunity to thank the life members of the society and professionals in the field of ocean science and technology, and all the institutions who have given patronage to us in our journey forward. Thank you all once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the gathering. I would now like to ask and request Dr. Mani Murali to please introduce the Dr. Srinivasan Endowment Award and also to read the citation. I would like to again invite Dr. Kurian to please announce the awards. Okay, Dr. Mani Murali will be announcing the awards as well.
Yeah, blissful good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Mani Murali, General Secretary of Ocean Society of India. Respected Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary MOES, former MOES Secretaries, Dr. Harsh Gupta, Dr. Shailesh Nayak, then Dr. Srinivasa Kumar, Director Incois, Dr. Pattabi, Convener OSICON-23, Mr. Sridhar, son of the Dr. D. Srinivasan, OSA GC members, scientists, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure and duty to announce the Dr. D. Srinivasan Endowment Award. This award is instituted to recognize outstanding, important contribution in promoting ocean science and technology and their applications by the researchers in India. The award is presented during the biannual conference of OSI, that is OSICON. Dr. D. Srinivasan Endowment Award 23 is the third in the series starting from 2019. The first recipient of the award, Dr. M. Ravichandran, is among us here. The announcement inviting nominations for this year's award was issued in May 2023. The award was decided by a committee consisting of eminent scientists based on an evaluation of the nominations received. I am happy to announce that this year's award goes to Professor A. Devendra Rao from IIT Delhi for his much acclaimed work on development of operational models for computation of storm tides and associated coastal inundation and development of integrated models for simulation of diurnal variability of vertical density to realize the effect of acoustic propagation and its transmission losses in the presence of internal waves. On behalf of Ocean Society of India and those present over here, I congratulate Professor A.D. Rao. For the benefit of all present here, may I read out the citation here. Professor Ambarakuna Devendra Rao received his MSc degree in Applied Mathematics from Andhra University in 1978 and PhD degree from IIT Delhi in 1982 for his doctoral work on numerical storm surge prediction in India. Dr. Rao joined as a faculty of IIT Delhi in 1982. After serving the institute as a regular faculty for about 40 years, he joined there as an emeritus professor in 2022. His research interests are in understanding coastal ocean process through observations and numerical modeling. His contributions in the recent times involve development of a coupled system by considering the hydrodynamic and hydraulic models to incorporate for the first time the cyclone-induced precipitation along with the upstream river discharge and application of land-use land cover in the computation of coastal inundation. This model is used on real-time basis for computation of total water elevations along the coast as well as coastal inundation. This information is provided on real-time basis to IMD for their operational use during a cyclone event. Another significant area of contribution of Professor Rao is generation and propagation of internal waves in the Bay of Bengal using 3D numerical models. The concept of using this model for simulating the diurnal variability of the ocean environment can become handy for naval operations. Since taking observations of temperature and salinity in real time could be difficult, the model can be used to simulate the temporal and spatial variations with a reasonable degree of accuracy to further understand the acoustic fields. These models are now transferred to NPOL and NOTPAC for their operational use. Professor Rao's contributions are widely recognized through his publication, which is more than 200 in national and international of repute. He is a fellow of Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences and an elected member of the National Academy of Sciences, Allahabad. Dr. Rao has guided 20 PhD students so far. He has been actively involved in several consultancy and sponsored research of national importance. He is also serving as a member in many editorial boards in international journals. Considering his outstanding contributions in the area of ocean science and technology, the Ocean Society of India confers Dr. Devanatha Srinivasan Endowment Award for the year 2023 on Professor Ambarkana Devendra Rao this day, 23rd August 2023 at Hyderabad on the occasion of OSICON-23 conference. May I please invite maybe the photo can be displayed over there and other photo.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor Harsh K. Gupta to adorn Dr. A.D. Rao with a shawl and present the medal. Thank you, sir. I would now like to request Dr. Shailesh Nayak to please present the citation to Dr. Rao. No, sir. Sir, a few more things are there. Quite a few. Thank you, sir. Sir, there are a few more things, sir. You will have to be on stage for a few more minutes. I would now like to request Dr. M. Ravichandran to please present the memento to Dr. Rao. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, finally, I would like to request our Director Inquest, T. Srinivas Kumar, sir, to please present the cash prize to Dr. A.D. Rao. I would now like to invite Mr. Sridhar to please come up on stage for a photo. Thank you, sir. I would now request you to please say a few words.
Thank you. Distinguished guests on the dais and friends and colleagues of the dais. It's a great honor to me in selecting for this award. It's a very, very prestigious award, D. Srinivasan's Endowment Award. Professor D. Srinivasan, actually, I knew him for a long time, actually. I had a very great opportunity to have interactions with him. Particularly, he is my great mentor. I am lucky enough that I am one of his mentors, actually. Of course, he has mentored many people in the country. Particularly, I had very good interactions. He's a man of acoustics person. He's a signal processing person. I knew him for many decades, actually. But I got more interaction with him when I got a project from him on internal waves, particularly. So since then, actually, I had continuous interaction, and it's really a great honor to receive his name's award, actually. I'm really proud of it, and I'm very pleased to be actually to receive this award, and it's a great honor. Thank you very much. And I also thank actually the jury of this committee for selecting me for this great award. Thank you very much all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll ask someone from Inquest to give all the things to you. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Inquest. I would now like to request Dr. Shailesh Naik to please address the gathering.
Good morning to everybody. Dr. Harsh Gupta, Dr. Ravichandran, Dr. Kurian, Dr. Srinivas, Dr. Pattabi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really honored and privileged to participate in this inaugural ceremony of the biennial conference of the Ocean Society of India on the operational oceanography science to services. It's heartening to note that this conference is being hosted by ISO-INCOIS at the International Center on the Operational Oceanography. My greetings to ISO-INCOIS for yeoman service for the 25 years to the country. Operational oceanography has got tremendous boost in last 2 decades due to the rapid advances in the ocean observations, including satellite observations and modeling, as well as computing, navigation, and communication technologies, along with geographic information system, which facilitated web and location-based services. Ocean observations which record the vital signs of ocean, their changes, and causes at various spatial and temporal scales are crucial for operational oceanography. During last 30 years or so in India, with the launch of Bhaskara satellites, followed by INSAT and Kalpana, OceanSat, IRS, ResourceSat, Cartosat, ARISAT, Megatropic, Ceral Altica, SCATSat had provided new dimensions to the observations and dramatic augmentation about the information on ocean, weather, and climate. These datasets are mainstay of the operational oceanography in India, along with high-resolution in-situ observations through mood buoys, drifting buoys, Argo floats, HF radars, gliders, etc. These ocean observations are crucial to understand the ocean processes, modeling, and providing effective services for a variety of sectors like fisheries, shipping, and coastal zone management, as well as to understand the role of oceans in climate change and variability. In 2015, IOC, in collaboration with SCORE, IOGOOS, and India, have launched the second international Indian Ocean expedition to focus the role of oceans on climate change. This expedition provided great opportunity to the scientists of this region to participate in this expedition and contribute their might to increase our understanding of the ocean. The large volume of data of Indian Ocean collected during last 50 years or so have been organized around GIS as the Ocean Data and Information System by ISO-INCOIS. It provides the data and information on physical, chemical, and biological parameters of oceans and coast on various spatial and temporal domains that are vital for research and operational services. This end-to-end system has matured as a prime vehicle to provide advisory services such as potential fishing zone, ocean state, tsunami, coral reef alert, and many others. The setting of a tsunami warning system in 2007 was a landmark event as far as the operational oceanography is concerned. The successful operations of this center got appreciation from then Prime Minister of India in 2013. He said during 101st Science Congress, and I quote, "Our decision to set up a new Ministry of Earth Sciences following the Indian Ocean tsunami in 2004 and to invest in world-class tsunami forewarning system in 2007 has been amply rewarded. We have now ability to issue alerts within 13 minutes of a tsunami-genic event. And this has established India's leadership in the Indian Ocean," unquote. With this, now what do we do in future? We need sustained and systematic observation and information on oceans, especially for physical, biogeochemical, biological, and ecological parameters. Hence, the continuity of satellite programs and calibrated products is crucial. We need to focus ocean observations, especially related to sea surface temperature, especially at 6 gigahertz, sea level rise, changes in the mass of ocean, vertical wind profiling over ocean, biogeochemical measurements, micronutrients, and trace elements for studying marine ecosystem dynamics, carbon cycling, microbial oceanography, etc. These observations need to be assimilated into improved Earth system models to forecast the impact on productivity of marine waters with improved accuracy and reliability. Collection of data would need large investment in satellites, research vessels, mood buoys, and autonomous vehicles for observing and sampling ocean water column. We need to strengthen our understanding of ecosystem by developing suite of indicators at various spatial scales. Ecosystem-based models are to be developed to manage the competing demands and maintaining healthy state of ecosystem, as well as to assess the impacts of the human activities. Socio-economic model also to be developed to assess the benefit to the human as well as their impact on the ecosystem. We also need to build an effective communication with various stakeholders, including policymakers. Scope and objective relevant to the society and implementation strategy, including institutional mechanism, financing, should be specified and agreed upon. We need to demonstrate usefulness and benefit of information for developing ocean service at local to national to regional scales to ensure the support of the governments. The classic example is the potential fishing zone service benefiting fishers has ensured the sustained support, both satellite and in situ observations. The success of ecosystem-based approach depends not only on the technology and infrastructure, but also on people. An education system that produces scientists and managers needed to implement such approach is very critical. We need to enhance our capability for education and training at a regional, national, institutional, and individual level. I would like to emphasize the role of education, capacity building, and transfer of technology to developing countries in the field of operational oceanography, and apply the knowledge for improving quality of life. This center on operational oceanography, where we are today, has started to fill this void in this region. I believe that the responsible stewardship of oceans is an investment that will pay dividends for generations to come. I'm sure this conference will provide an opportunity to renew our commitments to oceans, especially to ensure the sustainability of coasts and oceans, and thus the planet Earth for the benefit of mankind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Harsh K. Gupta for the plenary talk. He will be presenting a talk on 3 great tsunamis, Lisbon 1755, Sumatra Andaman 2004, and Japan 2011. Before sir starts the talk, I would like to introduce sir, if you would allow me. Thank you. I would like to keep this introduction brief because the contributions, the scientific contributions that he has is so numerous that if I would not be able to do justice if I were to actually say all the things that I've read about him. Here I start then. Professor Gupta is an eminent seismologist who has over 200 scientific papers in national and international journals and 5 books to his credit. Out of his many important scientific contributions, probably the most important one is the methodology that he developed, which distinguishes the normal earthquakes from reservoir-induced ones. Sir was the leader of the 3rd Indian scientific expedition to Antarctica, and his team established Dakshin Gangotri, a permanent Indian station at Antarctica during 1983 to 84, reportedly in record time. He is the former secretary of the Department of Ocean Development, DOD. It was during his tenure as the secretary that DOD had implemented programs such as the bathymetry surveys of Indian Exclusive Economic Zone, the establishment of an Indo-Russia gas hydrate center at Chennai, and a 1 MLD low temperature thermal desalination plant at Kavaratti. He is also the former vice chancellor of CUSAT, Cochin University of Science and Technology, and a Raja Raman fellow at the National Geophysical Research Institute, NGRI, Hyderabad, a recipient of the 1983 Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award for Science and Technology, the highest Indian award in the Science and Technology category, and the 2008 Waldo E. Smith Award. He was also awarded the fourth highest Indian civilian award, the Padma Shri, in 2006. A huge round of applause and welcome, sir, for the invited talk.
Well, a very good morning to all of you, and I'm indeed very grateful for this opportunity to talk, and I'm really very impressed with what INCOIS has been able to do, which we started somewhere in 1998. And there are some records which are very interesting to note. This building was started on 11th of March 2002 and completed on August 2023. The credit for that goes to the then director, Dr. Radhakrishna, who later became Secretary Department of Space. And subsequently, Dr. Shailesh Nayak joined, and this institute grew, and then we have many other people who contributed very significantly. I see Dr. Shinoy here, and Srinivasan is doing an excellent, wonderful job. So I'm going to talk about the tsunamis, but a wonderful thing that Srinivas did is to get Ajay Kumar to get me from my home. On my way, I talked to him, and then I realized that it may not be a bad idea to refresh ourselves a little bit about earthquakes and tsunamis before I get into the talk. So, earthquakes occur all over the world, and we must get some sense of the earthquake magnitude. A magnitude 6 earthquake is like a Hiroshima kind of bomb. It emits energy equal to that. The magnitude scale is little deceptive because with every increase of 1 magnitude, the energy release is 31 times more. So when we talk of a magnitude 7 earthquake, we are talking of 31 Hiroshima kind of bombs. When we talk of a magnitude 8 earthquake, we are talking of 31 into 31. And when we are talking of magnitude 9, then we are talking of 31 into 31 into 31. That is around 40,000. So what we had in Sumatra on 26th of December 2004 was a MW 9.2 earthquake. So imagine 40,000 of earthquakes, 40,000 of Hiroshima kind of bombs, going into a source time function of that earthquake was 500 seconds, and the rupture was 1,500 kilometers. So this gives you an idea of the kind of things that we are talking of. When we come down from 6 to 5, 5 can be locally damaging because it is 1/30th of that. And when we come to 4, they are mostly not effective. So they don't damage the places. Now we must also get to know a little bit of tsunamis before I go into detail. How does a tsunami get generated? What happens that the sea is not very quiet everywhere, and there are plates, tectonic plates, which move one with respect to other. And whenever the movement of a tectonic plate below the ocean creates an earthquake, and that earthquake is either a normal earthquake where the hanging wall comes down, the football, or a thrust earthquake where the hanging wall goes up, the footwall, then, and this movement propagates to the ocean bottom and creates a vertical elevation or depression on the ocean bottom. Then the column of water above it starts oscillating, and that's what a tsunami is. The tsunamis in the open ocean have a very small amplitude, and the word tsunami comes from that only. Tsunami is a Japanese word which means harbor waves, because in the open ocean the waves would be very small. The 26th December earthquake had generated an ocean wave of no more than 20 to 30 centimeters, which is totally lost, because the waves in ocean are almost 30, 40, 10, 20 meters waves are not rare. But the difference is that while the amplitude of all these waves dies with depth exponentially at a depth of 2 kilometers, so there's absolutely no movement. In case of a tsunami, you have put the whole water column into oscillation. So what used to happen in Japan, that fishermen will go out for fishing out, and in the open ocean they will not feel any tsunami. But what happens that when tsunami waves reach shallow waters in the harbors, then there is so much of energy. So that energy gets converted into amplitude, and that amplitude gives rise to huge tsunami waves which wash off the villages. So when they reached home, they found that there is no village left. So that's why the came tsunami name. I must also tell you a very interesting story connected with that. It's in old time, in one of the Japan islands, there was a king of the island. He was sitting on the top. His house, his palace was on the top of that small island, and they had a wonderful harvest that year. And it was a beautiful morning when people were on the sea coast. And in tsunami, what happens? That you will have either the crust or the trough reaching the coast. So if the crust reaches the coast, there will be amplitude high water levels. But if the trough reaches the coast, there will be withdrawal of the seawater. And he saw from the top that the water has been withdrawn, and he cannot shout or do anything. People are so far off. So he set his palace on fire. And people saw, and he was a very popular king. So they wanted to save him, so they all rushed to save him, and in the process, the people were saved. So these are some of the interesting stories about tsunamis, and I'm really very happy that I'm giving this talk in Inaugural today, because in 2004 when the tsunami occurred, people did not know what a tsunami is. And today, as you will see during my talk, and as Shailesh mentioned, and we all know, this is one of the best places in the world for tsunami kind of work. So I'm going to talk of, first of all, of the Lisbon tsunami, 1755. And this tsunami, as you can see here, is there a pointer here? Yeah. So this tsunami, it will not show up in this. Okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. So what we can say that this is the location of the earthquake, and what you see in red is the place where the waves reach in 4 hours, yellow is 8 hours, and green is 12 hours and more. So 1755 was a time when Lisbon was one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and it was thronged by the Europeans, particularly by Germans and English, and all kind of superstition and also pace of idolatry. because people did not know what exactly is happening. And when this earthquake occurred, it was a Saturday, 1st of November 1755. That also happens to be All Saints' Day. So the first shock occurred at about 9:30. The buildings quaked, and 10 minutes later the second shock came, and fires began all over. And then what happened, that aftershocks occurred. And at that time, an earthquake was a wrath of the god. And in the churches it was said that you have not stopped sinning. And these aftershocks are as a result of your sin, and that's why this all is happening. So the magnitude of this earthquake has been discussed for a very long time, and the best estimates are about magnitude 9. So we are talking of 40,000 Hiroshima kind of bomb. In Lisbon, at that time, 90,000 human lives were lost. About 10,000 lives went in Morocco. The population of Lisbon in 1755 was only 260,000. So 1/3 people went in that earthquake. Now imagine today the population of Lisbon is 2.8 million. So if 1/3 of them go, it will be 0.9 million. So it's a huge thing. And it is the earthquake which started people to think that what exactly it is. Because that was a time with the prosperity and everything, people thought it is the best of the world. And they were very well-known philosopher Voltaire and Kant. They were struggling to show earthquake as a natural phenomena rather than the act of God. And this news of earthquake reached Voltaire in Geneva after 15 days, and there were all kind of stories, and Kant published papers about it. So the main effort at that time for the philosophers and thinkers was to remove the concept in the mind of the people that earthquakes are the act of God, but it is a natural thing happening. So that was also time that there were religious wars all over, and there was enormous desire that everything should go well. And Isaac Newton was around the same time, and at one stage he has discovered gravity and he was predicting the planetary movement. At the other stage you are saying that everything is the wish of the god and you are sinning. So these were a lot of conflict of ideas, etc. But that also gave birth to the seismology, because Marques de Pombal, who was a prime minister in Portugal, he issued a questionnaire to all the people. And the questions was, at what time did the earthquake begin and how long it lasted? Then a question like, did you receive the shock to be greater from one direction than another, from north or south? So all these questions were asked. Then there was a how many people died and were any of them distinguished? Did the sea rise first and fall, and how many hands it rose? If the fire broke out, how long it did last and what damage it did, etc. So there were about 5,000 to 6,000 answers collected, which are still stored at Torre do Tombo, National Historical Museum, and they have been analyzed again and again. So in many ways, 1755 was the beginning of the modern seismology. This is the ruin of Carmo Convent, which was destroyed during the Lisbon earthquake. It is still preserved, and it's a beautiful site to visit. Then this one is a painting, ruins of Lisbon, because the survivors started living in the tents outside the city. So a German artist carved this, and this is still very much preserved. A very interesting thing happened there. After 1 month of occurrence of this earthquake, the Manuel de Ma, the chief engineer, he said that there are 3 ways of doing things. Either you rebuild the old city by repairing the damaged building, the used recycled metal, widening of the surfaces, raising the entire Baxia, the whole area, and redoing. That was also the time that Portugal had conquered Brazil, and they had brought in shiploads of gold. So money was not a problem. So they took the third option. They erased everything and rebuilt it. And can you believe that at that time, how to make earthquake-proof houses, so they made the models, put them on tables, and they had soldiers marching past them to generate the waves and see that how well they are sort of tolerating them. So Lisbon was rebuilt. This is one of the buildings which was made at that time and which is still a tourist attraction. From that stage, I come to 2004, 26th of December. Tsunamis are known all over the world. Tsunami warning centers have set up globally, but there is no tsunami warning center for the Indian Ocean. On 26th of December, we have the Sumatra Andaman earthquake and tsunami. It was a 9.2, MW 9.2 earthquake, so you can imagine that how large the earthquake was. This is one of the most destructive tsunami because it claimed over 250 human lives, and there was unprecedented damage. Marina Beach in Chennai. You see, 26th December happened to be a Sunday, and that was the morning time when this earthquake took place. And the people were walking on the Marina Beach. The time is around 9:15 in the morning. And there the trough reached first. So the sea withdrew. When the sea withdrew, you see the shells, the fish all spread over there, and people rushed to pick them up without realizing that a bigger wave is going to come. And that's what exactly happened. Now, this is a very important diagram, and it has been used extensively for various things. What I want you to see, we are showing the circum-Pacific earthquake belt, which is around the Pacific coast, all around, and this belt accounts for almost 75% of earthquake energy released. The remaining 20% energy is released through the Alpine belt, which branches off from the Pacific near Java, Sumatra. It goes to Andaman Nicobar, north of India into West Asia and into Europe. This one accounts for almost 20% of energy release. The remaining 5% of energy is released from the so-called stable continental region earthquakes, like the Koina earthquake and other earthquakes, which occur in the stable parts of the plate and which does not have high seismicity. Now, what is very important to note, that we realized that all the earthquakes which can generate tsunamis within the Indian Ocean are encompassed in two small areas. One is from Java, Sumatra to Andaman Nicobar, shown by a ellipse there, which is a 4,000 kilometer long stretch, and the other area is on the north of the ocean, south of there, a small area of about 500 square kilometer radius. So other than these two, there is no other source which could generate a tsunami in the Indian Ocean. So as usual, there was an IOC meeting from 3rd to 8th of March, and the discussion was there, and we were there, Radhakrishna was with me, and our point was that we do not want a tsunami warning system which is not able to give false alarms in time. Because what happens that a tsunami occurs and a alarm is issued by Pacific or Japan Meteorology Agency, and that affected a evacuation of the coastal areas, especially on the east coast, Chennai, etc., Tamil Nadu. And then that tsunami does not take place, so people have to come back. If it happens 2 or 3 times, there is total loss of confidence in the tsunami warning. So I insisted in that IOC meeting that we should set up a system which removes all the false alarms. And this can be achieved by putting the ocean bottom pressure recorders. Because unlike the Pacific Ocean, where earthquakes all around the periphery of Pacific Ocean are capable of hosting a magnitude 7 tsunami-genic earthquake. As against that, for the Indian Ocean, there are 2 stretches only. the 4,000 kilometer for Andaman Nicobar to Sumatra, 4,000 kilometer, and in the Arabian Sea off Makran coast, small area. So I said that an earthquake occurs that is deciphered within 2 or 3 minutes of its occurrence. What is the magnitude is estimated. Whether it has created a tsunami or not is not known for a long time. But this can be known if we plant the ocean bottom pressure recorders in the immediate vicinity of these two tsunami-genic zones. So this is what was provided there. But they were not very sure of this argument. So the communique of the 3rd to 8th March said, noting it is important to improve the science of issuing tsunami warning to reduce false alarms given the inordinate inconvenience and disruption to normal life caused by false alarms, especially given the high population densities and intensive operation in coastal areas in the Indian Ocean, and also to continuously improve forecasting. So there was a challenge kind of a thing. I said that about 200 people sitting there from all the countries, that you don't accept what I'm telling, but just take 2 or 3 weeks time and come back, give a source in the Indian Ocean other than these two which has generated tsunami. As a consequence, the next meeting was held from 14th to 16th of April in Mauritius, and no other earthquake was known to have generated tsunami. So the Mauritius declaration said that recognize a unique tectonic plate structure of the Indian Ocean, and that there are primarily two tsunami-genic sources that could affect the coastline of the Indian Ocean, named the Indonesian seismic zone and its sections about 4,000 kilometers, and the Makran source. And then welcomes the plans and intentions of Australia, etc., etc. So that was a starting point of setting up of our tsunami warning system, and we were fortunate because what happens that on the circum-Pacific coast, the earthquakes are occurring in the immediate vicinity of the populated area. So the time taken for the waves to reach is 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or even less. So they are used to issuing warnings and withdrawing, issuing warnings and withdrawing. We have the advantage that as far as the Indian coast is concerned, the closest is Andaman Nicobar Islands, and there also tsunami takes almost 30 minutes to reach from these sources. And if you come to the east coast of India, it takes almost 2 hours. So we had enough time. So the approach which was adopted by Department of Ocean Development was to plant ocean bottom pressure recorders in the immediate vicinity of these tsunami-genic zones. Also, we got such tremendous support from the government to implement this program. There were at that time proposals from others costing us about 1,000 crores. And what we spent, direct cost was just 120 crore in setting up this system. And as Shailesh said, that 2000, he is one of the main persons who worked on it and made it possible to happen. What happened? Okay, so this just tells the ocean bottom pressure recorders on the Sumatra to Andaman Nicobar. What is it? Okay, I think I have got. Okay, it's all right. I'll miss that. So I'm not going to go in detail, but this is one of the earlier things which was done at that time, and that is to, you see, there is no time to compute after the earthquake has occurred. So you have to have all the computations preserved in your memory, and depending upon where the earthquake occurs and what is the magnitude, you immediately put it all together to forecast that how much time it will take, what will the amplitude of these waves, etc., etc., etc. So this was a very meticulously done exercise take up by INCOIS in computing the tsunamis for sources starting from 7 magnitude earthquake, 50 kilometer distance, and then you add 10 of them, 20 of them, etc., etc. So all these computations were ready so that as soon as an earthquake occurs and you get to know from the ocean bottom pressure recorders that tsunami is being generated, within half an hour or 20 minutes time, you have the total scene available. So this is the story of setting up of the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System. It was ready in 30 months' time, and in 2007 we had an earthquake which appeared to create tsunami, and it was forecasted and it came through, and then that's how it started. So, and from now I'll come towards the end about it. Now let me go to the 11th March 2011 magnitude 9 earthquake in Japan. Japan is one of the foremost country in tsunamis and everything. Everything started from there. The only problem was that Fukushima nuclear power plant was constructed during 1960s. At that time, the potential of the plate boundary there was estimated to be a magnitude 8 earthquake. Plate tectonics came much later in 70s, and after that there was no earthquake. So also what happens that when a large earthquake occurs, there is a source time function of it. Say for the Japan earthquake, it was about 100 seconds as against 500 seconds for the Indian Ocean earthquake. So initially within the first 10-20 seconds, you see the amplitude of those waves. So the original forecast for this earthquake was magnitude 7, so it kept on increasing. And they had already built a tsunami wall. So when people heard about it, that a tsunami is coming, they rushed to the wall to see that, without realizing that the magnitude grew to magnitude 9, and they were all swept over. So tsunami was up to 40 meters height in Sendai. Honshu moved 2.4 meters east. Earth's axis shifted by 10 to 25 centimeters. Peak acceleration was up to 3G for this earthquake. And there's a Chandler wobble, because if you hit a huge bell, then it starts busting. Something like that happened. And it caused nuclear accidents, meltdown in Fukushima plant. And residents within the 20 kilometer of Fukushima had to be evacuated. So the deaths were about 16,000, and 12,000, many buildings got damaged. And the Japanese Prime Minister at that time said that in the 65 years after the end of World War II, this is the toughest and most difficult crisis for Japan. About 4.5 million households were without electricity, etc., etc. And this is the source time function of the Tohoku earthquake. And as you can see that it was a very efficient earthquake, because all the energy was released in 100 seconds. As compared to that, if you look at the Sumatra earthquake, which is very sluggish, 500 seconds, 1500 kilometers of the rupture. So that was the situation. So at that time, I was president of Asia Oceania Geoscience Society, and I wrote a letter on 13th March at 5:43 a.m. that we at AOGS are indeed very sorry to learn about the devastation by the 11th March 8. That time magnitude was 8.9. Earthquake and the resultant tsunami that has caused widespread damage and loss of human lives in Sendai, nearby region Japan. Japan is the most advanced country in the world as far as the earthquake research is concerned. We are conscious that tragedy would have been several-fold more severe, but for the scientific and technology interventions and implementations of defensive mechanisms by Japanese scientists, engineers, and administration. We hope that you are and your families are safe, and we wish you a quick recovery. We have about 200 members from Japan in AOGS, so this letter was sent to all those 200 members. And immediately, same day, after 2 hours, I got a reply from one Minoru Kusukabe. Dear Dr. Harshgupta, President AOGS, thank you for your note, your kind words. It was indeed a big disaster, the biggest we ever experienced. I hope people of the devastated region revive in the near future, but the disaster looks so serious. Personally, I'm okay, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Taipei, because our next meeting was in Taipei and I was supposed to go there. So almost everyone replied. One reply came almost after 7-8 days. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. Dear Dr. Harshgupta, thank you for a kind message. Unfortunately, many people were gone, and a few members of my colleagues' family were included in them. A half of my city, Tigajo, next to Sendai, was swept away by tsunami, and many friends had lost their houses. The tsunami came to within 500 meters of my house, but my house is built on a small hill, and my family are fortunately all safe. Today I got the internet connection and writing this email to you. Apologize about my late response and appreciate of your kindness. I spent 10 days without internet, alcohol and coffee. Every day my family went for refuge to clean up the refuge. Every day my family have hot supper together. Every day my family sleep at 10 p.m., 8 p.m. and get up at 5 a.m. together. The earthquake and tsunami were sad disaster, but my family are experiencing invaluable time. So this is the spirit that how do you take a disaster and look at the positive side of it. And they made a plan that what they should do, and which is evacuation facilities, concrete wall, tsunami control forecast, coastal, etc., etc. So very systematically they are doing it. My last two slides are about the new development on space mission, and GNSS is very strongly being used in estimating the rupture, the variations during the propagation of sea level, and finally, SAR imagery are very useful quantifying damage following tsunami floods. So all this is under purview, and in 2021, IOC UNESCO approved the Ocean Decade Tsunami Program, and I'm very proud to say that there's a 10-member committee, and Srinivas Kumar is chairing that committee. So nothing could be more wonderful for us to see that the effort which India started in 2004, continuous work by Radhakrishna, Shailesh, Shinoy, everyone has fructified, and starting from scratch, we are on the top of the world. I would like to conclude my talk by saying that India completed ingeniously a very ambitious project, set up a state-of-the-art tsunami warning capacity for the Indian Ocean warning in short time of 30 months. This was achieved by end of August 2007 and tested by the 12th September 2000 earthquake. Over the past 15 years, the system has worked very efficiently. It is now assessed among the best in the world. With the outstanding contribution over the year, INCOIS is identified as one of the key tsunami service providers for the Indian tsunami warning and mitigation, IOTWMS. The credit goes to MOES, particularly INCOIS, for this extraordinary achievement. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I've taken a little longer. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so Thank you so much, sir, for that very enlightening talk. Now, I would like to request Dr. M. Ravichandran, Secretary to the Government of India, Ministry of Earth Sciences, to please release the abstract volume and also to launch INCOIS products. First, we start with releasing the abstract volume. I would request the dignitaries to, after it's unwrapped, to take one of the each abstract volume, and if they could please show to the audience members. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now I would like to request Dr. M. Ravichandran to also please, behind on the screen you would see there is a launching area. I mean, the soft copy is also available in the OSICON website. I would request the dignitaries to please show the industry-specific brochures. These are a group of 6 to 7 brochures. I would request them to please show. Thank you so much. Now I would request Dr. M. Ravichandran to also inaugurate the mobile app that we have for the Incoy's book of abstracts. So it's this. There's a QR code, and people can, the audience members can scan, and then they will have, for Android as well as iOS, the iPhone, they can get this in their mobile phones. All right. Next, we would like to, we would start the inauguration of the coastal water quality buoy at Vizag. So we can launch that. I would ask Dr. Ravichandran again to please launch the app, the website. Very briefly, I would say what this water quality buoy is. As a contribution to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Incoys had developed these nowcast systems for the Indian coast. These systems consist of buoy-based coastal automated observatories for time series monitoring of various water quality parameters, which will help in the assessment of coastal ecosystem. And also, these would provide nowcast and forecast of water quality to cater to the needs of the various maritime users. After this, I would request Dr. Ravichandran again to please inaugurate the Ocean Information Portal for South Pacific regions. I would briefly introduce this. The Government of India had taken an initiative of setting up the Sustainable Coastal Ocean Research Institute at Suva, Fiji, in partnership with the University of South Pacific, Fiji, to extend the cooperation in coastal and ocean services with Pacific Island countries. Now, as a part of this, Incoys provides ocean data products and services to these Pacific Island countries through its custom-made dashboard accessible link. The products and services fall basically under 3 categories: the ocean state forecast, the ocean advisory services, and ocean data products. Finally, I would again request Dr. Ravichandran to inaugurate the WMO RSMC. So, Incoys is an organization which has been providing various ocean-related services since 1999. It started its wave forecast services and augmented it with essential ocean variables from OGCMs, Ocean General Circulation Models. Now, recognizing the lead role that Incoys played in the region on issuing forecast for several countries, the WMO Executive Council at its 76th session adopted the designation of Incoys as the Regional Specialized Meteorological Center, the RSMC, for numerical ocean wave prediction and global numerical ocean prediction. There are several RMSCs existing in this world, which including IMD, India Meteorological Department at New Delhi. But for the first time in the history of WMO, it designated a forecasting center as RSMC for ocean wave and numerical ocean prediction. Thank you. I would now request to play. There are 2 small videos. One is it's a remark by Dr. M. Mohapatra, DG of IMD PRI to WMO, Vice President of WMO. We have a small video playing. Okay, so he is online, so we can hear him. We might be able to hear him speak. Sir, please go ahead.
Good morning, namaskar to all of you. Respected Secretary, Minister of Earth Sciences, Dr. M. Ravichandran. Respected former Secretary, Dr. Gupta sir, Dr. Shailesh Naik sir, President of Ocean Society of India, Director Incoys, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, distinguished delegates, guests, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I congratulate Dr. Srinivas and entire team for successfully organizing this OSICON 2023. I also congratulate Dr. A.D. Rao sir for this prestigious award on this August occasion. I feel proud to be associated with this event, and especially while considering the role of ocean and atmosphere together. These two cannot be separated from each other. They have to work with each other, and hence, as we, the human being, also have to work with each other. In this direction, there has been a very highly appreciative initiative by INCOES, led by Dr. Srinivas, to get recognized as a regional specialized meteorological center for ocean modeling and services. As all of us know that, and as you have listened to all the distinguished speakers so far, India plays a dominant role with respect to the data, the products, the modeling, and the services in the North Indian Ocean region, or even the South Indian Ocean. We have been serving all the countries surrounding the Indian Ocean region with respect to various types of ocean services, especially the tsunamis, the cyclones, the surges, waves, and many more. We have been providing also the benefits to the people, like the fishermen, through our potential fishing zone and other services. So considering this, WMO has recognized the INCOES Center as a regional specialized meteorological center. So it is a recognition to the country and recognition to the services being provided by INCOES and Minister of Earth Sciences. I congratulate the entire team, Secretary, Minister of Earth Sciences, Director of INCOES, and all others who have been behind this for obtaining this recognition. I also thank World Meteorological Organizations for considering our request to recognize INCOES as regional specialized meteorological center. Through this recognition, it will enhance the capacity of INCOES and India Meteorological Department and overall the Ministry of Earth Sciences to serve the nations better and the people in the region by providing the enhanced services in terms of data, products, and the model guidance. It will also help in improving the capacity building of the region. It will also help in research and development of the various products, especially meant for the public and the mariners. It will also help in mitigating the disasters related to the oceans and the atmosphere. So once again, I congratulate all of you on this festive occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We also have Dr. Anthony Ria, Director of the Infrastructure Department of WMO. We would like to request him to say a few words.
Yes, thank you very much. I hope that you can hear me well, and greetings from Geneva, Switzerland. I would, distinguished guests, colleagues, I would also like to pass on my really strong congratulations and thanks to INCOES and Dr. Srinivas for the designation of the regional specialised meteorological centre. And you know, these RSMCs form an integral part of the infrastructure of WMO in terms of providing information to our members for the protection of life and property and economic well-being. And I really want to thank India and INCOES for making this contribution to the global community, which is really, really valued. And of course, WMO only works if we all work together. I would like to stress, you know, the importance for us of working with the ocean community and the need for the ocean, the atmosphere, and the hydrological communities to work together. WMO has adopted this Earth system approach, we call it, and in some ways it challenges the traditional breakdown of the Earth system into its components: the ocean, the atmosphere, the hydrosphere. It doesn't mean that we don't need ocean scientists or atmospheric scientists or hydrologists. Clearly we do, but we also need to be able to understand how those work together in terms of the Earth system, what are the fluxes between the atmosphere and the oceans. And of course, there's a recognition that the ocean is driving a lot of weather and climate phenomena, and we're seeing the incredible temperatures around the world at the moment, and the driver there in terms of ocean temperatures, sea ice extent, and so on. Of course, we recognise that from a weather perspective, ocean heat is driving the intensity of tropical cyclones around the world, and is a key driver for our seasonal prediction. Maybe just on the oceans, WMO is also very active as a co-sponsor of the Global Ocean Observing System, and operates the Ocean Ops Office in Brest, which looks at ocean metadata from platforms like Drifting Boys and Argo and so on. WMO operates, it's great to be here actually, and I'll tell you why. WMO also operates the Joint Collaborative Board with the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, and it's great that we have both of the co-chairs of that Joint Collaborative Board here with us today, because Dr. Srinivas is the chair from the ocean side, and Dr. Mahapatra is the chair, the third vice president of WMO, and the chair of the Joint Collaborative Board for ocean on the WMO side. So as you can see, India are playing a really important and leading role in ocean activities within the global community, and I really want to thank you for that. And once again, congratulations on the designation of the centre. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request Dr. M. Ravichandran again to please come and say a few words to the gathering.
Respected Professor K. Gupta, former Secretary, Department of Ocean Development, Dr. Shailesh Naik, former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Dr. N.P. Korean, President of Ocean Society of India, Dr. Mahapatra from Online, Director General of Meteorology, and Dr. Anthony Ree, Director, Infrastructure Department of WMO, my colleagues, Dr. Srinivas Kumar, Director, INCOIS, and Dr. Pattavi Ramarao, convener for this OSICON conference, my colleagues and friends, my seniors and executive committee of OSI, as well as past leaders and directors of the past, maybe past as well as present, and also some of the future directors and leaders of the ocean. Very good morning to all of you, and it is my great pleasure to be here on this occasion of 8th edition of OSICON 2023. As you know that in last OSICON, we missed to meet all of you in Goa, which we have organized, but it has happened only in online due to maybe various reasons. Of course, this year we are able to assemble together, and thanks to INCOIS and Ocean Society of India for organizing this wonderful facility and meeting together all these groups, especially when past generation, present generation, and future generations. As you all know that oceans provides oceans of opportunity. At the same time, it provides, or it has sea of challenges. So we need to swim through both how to harness the ocean resources as well as how to prevent or mitigate the ocean disasters. As you know, Ministry of Earth Sciences look at holistically all 5 realms: atmosphere, hydrosphere, geosphere, cryosphere, and associated biosphere. And this hydrosphere is very important. It is not only because big volume, but also it is having a lot of resources in the future generations to consider. When you talk about ocean resources, it is both living as well as non-living resources are abundant, but we are not potentially harnessed so far much. When you talk about mankind, we need 5 things, maybe 4 things importantly. We need energy, we need food, water, and health. And also now it is everything is embedded, over embedded all the things is one of the important things are climate change. So it's all 5 things are very important when you talk about the ocean. So we need energy. Lot of energies are available in the ocean, but we are not tapped, especially in the tropical country like us. We need to tap. You take any parameter, if you take about the physical properties of water, you take temperature, you get temperature gradient from the ocean, you get energy. You take salinity gradient, maybe in the where the river meets the ocean, you get the salinity gradient energy. You take ocean current, you get energy from ocean current, mechanical energy, and also you get the wave energy, tidal energy, and solar energy. Maybe in the ocean you can harness much more than the land because oceans are plenty. So there are so many energies are there. We need to understand ocean better and better, so that we need to develop a technology in a economically convenient or maybe potentially make use of this energy in a better way. When you talk about the food, maybe the fisheries and other things, mainly we are maybe compound to be only in the coastal areas. There are a lot of growth or maybe a lot of potential available in the deep sea. I think we need to go beyond our coastal waters for maybe fishery resources as well as maybe the many other seaweeds and maybe including ocean health to harness the ocean health, maybe seagrass and other things we need to cultivate in these areas. And the third aspect I was talking about water. Of course, water is very important things. Now it is water resources are depleting and the rain and other things are very erratic way it is happening. So we need to harvest, but also we need to harness from the ocean, the fresh water from the ocean. So we need to harness the ocean ways and different ways and means we need to think and develop a technology to harness the ocean. And the fourth one is you could talk about the health. Of course, health for us as well as the ocean. We need to take care of our health from the ocean resources, whatever the maybe the biomolecules or whatever they available from that drug from the sea and other things we need to take from the ocean to treat ourselves as well as we need to treat the ocean. Ocean health we need to sustain. We have to use it. And over and above, there are a lot of changes happening in terms of global warming, climate change and other things. So we need to keep in mind about what is the pace is going on, and that pace we need to harness in sustainable way in various ocean resources. And when you want to resources, we want to harness, then at the same time you have to think about the challenges. A lot of challenges too. It is producing disasters like cyclone, tsunami, and associated storm surges. And there are about many other sea level rise, nowadays marine heat waves, and coral bleaching. Many things are happening. So we need to think about how to prevent such a, maybe a mitigation plan we need to make it. For that, we need to understand the ocean much better. I think both opportunity and challenges are there, so we need to have both the things. For that, we need to understand the better. So the future generation, young students and younger colleagues, is very important to understand better. What we know is very little, as someone pointed out. We know very little, but we need to do much more than that. Considering this importance of these opportunities and challenges, the Government of India is initiating the important mission. It is basically blue economy policy is coming out. In the blue economy policy, it is not only for the blue economy for the Ministry of Earth Sciences and related group. I think it is important. You might have known that Gati Shakti. It is many ministries together, they join together and they work towards the common goal for the society, how to deliver the services. Similarly, in this area, ocean area, I think maybe Ocean Shakti or whatever the things, so we need to be involve various other ministries. Of course, now we have already met various ministries in the highest level. We discussed what are the give and take. That means what you can contribute for the, what do you want from the ocean community in terms of energy, in terms of maybe Ministry of Environment and Forest, and also Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Fisheries, Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy, Ministry of Shipping, and there are many ministries, about 14 ministries we joined together, and Ministry of Earth Sciences is leading this endeavor, and we are going to soon form a ocean policy. In this ocean policy, I think all ministry will work together to harness the ocean sustainably. So that is more important in the coming years is coming. Of course, one of the small element in this ocean policy with the ministry, we started on deep ocean mission. So it is basically the main objective is to understand or to develop a technology to harness, of course, the ocean resources, especially energy and water. Then also to develop a technology for mineral resources, explore and exploit, as well as to man to go at 6,000 meter. Maybe today is an important day. You all know that man is reaching, of course, we are going to land on the moon, but we are not able to land maybe in the subsurface. Of course, not autonomous, of course, man. It is very important things which we need to achieve very soon. And also we want to map the biodiversity of the Indian Ocean, Indian East. We don't know how many living organisms are there or in our water, we don't know. We need to map it. And also we need to explore various mineral resources available, where it is available, how much is available, what is the estimate potential available. All these things we need to estimate. Under that deep ocean mission, we are looking at it. I request all of the young students to come forward to work towards one of the mission. Especially we have a 6 vertical, as I mentioned, it is a technology, exploration, and climate services, and also biodiversity and ocean biology and capacity building, and also harnessing the ocean resources, especially energy and water. All this endeavor, please come forward, think differently, and come forward for new ideas, and as well as the maybe challenges, how we can make use of this various opportunity, think about, so that we can do for better preparedness in the coming years. I am very sure the next decade is ocean decade. Definitely it is a ocean decade. That is the important things where this international IOC has come out with the ocean decade in the 21 to 30 is a decade of the ocean. And this time, particular time, it is the middle of now, very soon we are going to play a major role. The purpose is to understand the ocean. How do we understand? We need to observe the ocean. Once you observe the ocean, understand it, model them, then you can go for prediction as well as maybe various services. Our objective should be to translate science to services for the society. I always feel that S-cube is very important. So that is why some of the researchers are here for produce science, and some of the services like INCOIS and many other organizations, IMD and other people, they produce many of the services to translate this existing science to the services. And also very important thing, this like Ocean Society of India and other things, they have to reach the milestone, last mile, especially the people make awareness about the ocean, importance about the ocean, and importance, and also the policy makers, you have to give advice. I think this Ocean Society of India has to play a pivotal role in tying up both the researchers as well as society. I think it is very important how much we need to tie up with together. We have to work together so that we can get a better benefit from the ocean. As you all know that recently the WMO as well as IOC has a long collaboration, as IMD DG mentioned, that without ocean there is no atmosphere, and without atmosphere there is no ocean. It is a very symbiotic relation between ocean and atmosphere. It is very interesting to say that this time, particularly this year or this time, both Vice President of both the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission as well as the WMO Vice Presidents of both the organizations is from India. And I am very happy that Dr. Srinivas Kumar is Vice President of IOC as well as Dr. Mohapatra is a Vice President of WMO. Interestingly, in the recent meeting in the IOC, they have selected in such a way this WMO component of IOC will be handled by Srinivas, and IOC component of WMO will be handled by Mohapatra. I intervene. Both are India, so better you change so that we learn something else. So I hope that they have already changed that synchronization and other things. Of course, we have very many initiatives of Ministry of Earth Science started, especially in the next decade is mainly propelled to the ocean area. I think I request to young generations come forward and go for future directions. And the government also thinking about Amrit Kal in 2047, 100 years of independence, where we will be. So the ocean community has to think what we have to achieve at that 2047. For that, we have to establish a foundation by 2030. In order to reach the 2047, this is our goal. Maybe you can come out with many goals. Now the blue economy policy is contributing 4% of our GDP. Can we translate to double digit 10% of GDP or 8% of GDP? So we need to, for that we need to work more. Maybe we have to go for deep sea fishing, we need to harness various energy, we need to harvest water and mineral resources and many other things we need to harness. For that, you can plan what is the various kinds of science and technology and societal things which we need, you have to think about. And I think the future, especially the young group, is very important that you have to, everyone has to think about in 2047 where we will be. For that, in the ocean community as a whole, ourselves, what we can contribute to the country as well as from the ocean side, that you have to think in a loud way and come prepared, and you can think about that particular ideas and other things, various organization and society. And with that, I think we will be able to achieve what we can think of in the 2047. 100 years, we need to do something in the ocean community. For that, I am sure that with your motivation as well as your dynamism of youngsters, we will be able to achieve what we think in the future. With this, I once again thank the organizer, both the INCOIS as well as Ocean Society of India, for inviting me to make this function inauguration. And with this, I thank you once again all. And also, this conference is a grand success. I am sure that at the end of the conference, we will have a fruitful recommendation, the way forward for the next conference, as well as the next ocean realm, what we can do and other things. With this, I once again thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to request our director, sir, to felicitate all the dignitaries. First, I would invite Dr. Ravi Chandran to please accept our token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. I would now invite Professor Harsh K. Gupta to please accept the felicitation. Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and for delivering the talk. Thank you, sir. I would request Dr. Shailesh Nayak to please accept the token of gratitude. Thank you for being available for us today. Thank you, sir. Finally, thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request Dr. N.P. Kurian. Thank you so much for being available and helping us in association with OSI to make this happen. Thank you so much, sir. With this, we have come to an end of the inaugural session. I would request Dr. Pattabhi Ramarao sir to please present the vote of thanks. He is someone without whom this whole program would not have been possible. Of course, there have been so many people involved, but at the helm of the organizing committee, he has been there. He is the convener of OSICON-23. For almost a month or probably more than that, he has been helping us, organizing things, getting people together, meetings after meetings. Thank you for making this available, for making this happen. I request you to please present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Trishnita. Dr. Ravichandran, Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences. Professor Harsh Gupta, Member, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board and former Secretary, Department of Ocean Development. Dr. Shailesh Naik, Director, NIAS and former Secretary, Ministry of Earth Sciences. Dr. Kurian, President, OSI. Dr. Srinivas Kumar, Chairman, Organizing Committee of OSICON and Director, Inquires. Our former Director, Dr. Shanai. Director, IITM, Dr. Krishnan. OSI Governing Council and members, delegates and colleagues from Inquires, awardees, print and electronic media. A very good morning to all of you. It's a great honor and privilege for me to stand before you and propose vote of thanks on this remarkable occasion. On behalf of Inquires and OSICON-23 Organizing Committee, I would like to express our profound gratitude and heartfelt appreciation to the Chief Guest, Dr. Ravichandran, for gracing this occasion and inaugurating this conference. Sir, you are the inspiration and guiding force to host this OSICON-23 at Inquires as the previous president of OSI. Thank you, sir, for appreciating our services of Inquires and also dwelling upon ocean of opportunities and sea of challenges, and also your inspiring and motivating words. We assure you that we will further strengthen our services for the benefit of stakeholders. Thank you, sir, for your unstinted support in organizing this event. I thank Professor Harsh Gupta for kindly agreed to deliver the plenary talk on this occasion. Thank you, sir, for sharing your groundbreaking research, experiences, and also innovative initiatives that were taken at the time of setting up of Indian Tsunami Early Warning Center, as well as the Tsunami Early Warning System in the Indian Ocean. Your contributions have enriched our understanding, and I am sure that your ideas will ignite new perspectives and discussions among the attendees. I also thank Dr. Shailesh Naik for gracing this occasion. Thank you, sir, for your invaluable suggestions and also your guidance in organizing this event as the chairman of the National Advisory Committee of OSICON. Thank you for your special remarks and also the importance of operational ocean services that you have mentioned and the role of Inquires at national and international level. I thank Dr. Kurian for kindly accepting Inquires' proposal to host OSICON-23 and for his continuous support, not only his support and as well as the Governing Council, OSI, and their guidance in planning this event. Thank you, sir. I also thank the support extended by all the Governing Council members as well as other members. My special thanks to Dr. Srinivas Kumar, who is the chairman of the local organizing committee, for his keen interest in organizing this conference at Inquires, meticulous planning, and attention to every detail that ensured the seamless execution of this mega event. Thank you, sir. Our special thanks to Dr. Prakash Chavan, Director NRSC, who is not here, who is going to join tomorrow, and colleagues from NRSC for conducting one-day pre-conference tutorial. Yesterday we had a pre-conference tutorial. We have about 60 students participated, and colleagues from NRSC and Inquires, they have organized this. So once again, I thank our colleagues from NRSC. I thank the other invited plenary speakers who are going to be here for the next 2 days, Dr. P.S. Goyal, Dr. Rajivan, former secretaries of MOES, and also Dr. Shanai for kindly accepting our request to deliver the plenary talks. We are going to have the next 2 days. I also thank the chairs of different technical sessions for kindly agreed to conduct these sessions. We are happy to host 2 special sessions. One is the India Meteorological Society and other one is the Federation of India Geophysical Association. We are thankful to the respective executive committees for roping into this OSICON-23 and organizing these special sessions. We are also indebted to our sponsors that include several ministries, as Director has mentioned in the beginning, institutions, exhibitors, and we have a long list which is being displayed on the screen and also on the branding. Your generous support deserves a special mention, and I thank you for your unwavering support. Your belief in the importance of this event has been instrumental in making it a reality. Your contributions have enabled us to provide this mega platform for intellectual exchange in the field of ocean sciences and technology. A special note of gratitude goes to all the members of OSICON National Advisory Committee, Organizing Committee, Technical Committee, and numerous subcommittees, colleagues from INCOIS, we have scientists and technical engineers, and also INCOIS administration, purchase, finance, and accounts, whose tireless efforts and meticulous planning have made this conference a reality. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to each and every participant who has traveled from near and far to share their research work. I am sure that this event facilitated the students and young researchers to share their ideas with the experts present here and witness the technological developments at the exhibition. I take this opportunity to thank print and media colleagues for their presence here to cover the event, and I also thank our event managers and caterers for making all these arrangements. So this is the biggest event that INCOIS organized on this campus. An event of this magnitude will not happen overnight. Behind the scenes, countless hours of dedication and coordination have ensured the successful planning of this mega event. I thank each and everyone who worked tirelessly behind the scenes. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my sincere apologies for any inconvenience that may have arisen during the course of this event. We all know that organizing such mega event is not without its challenges, and we truly appreciate your patience and understanding. Today we gather here as a fraternity of students, scholars, researchers, technologists, and professionals who share a common passion for ocean sciences and technology. This event will truly be an inspiring and enlightening journey, and your presence here will transform this gathering into a platform not only for learning and networking, but also the advancement of operational ocean services that boost India's blue economy initiatives. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, we have come to an end of the program. I have a few announcements. Before that, I would also like to thank two dignitaries who were able to join us online, Dr. Mohapatra and Dr. Ria. If they are being able to hear, then thank you so much for being there, for your remarks. And I hope you enjoyed the whole program. Okay. Now, we've come to the end. We are concluding the inaugural session. I would request Dr. Ravi Chandran to please, below there is an exhibition hall. I would request you to please inaugurate the exhibition hall. There are breakout rooms. There are a few announcements for the participants. There are 3 halls in this building, ITCO building, and there are 3 more halls in the main building. So after this inaugural session, I think there are a lot of people who have to rush to the inaugural building for their sessions. But before 2 p.m., please again come back here to the ITCO building, because there is another plenary talk at ITCO building. I would also request all the participants to please wait till the dignitaries go to the inaugural hall. Okay, yes, we'll take one picture. And okay. Yeah. Okay, the photographers can please come on stage, and the dignitaries will be going down, and then there will be a photograph. For all the participants in the breakout room below, in the ground floor, there is a high tea available. So after the dignitaries proceed, then the other participants may also follow. After the high tea, please, as soon as possible, go to the main building. If you have any questions about the rooms, the halls, there are volunteers everywhere, especially from INCOIS. You can ask them. We will try our best to be as helpful as possible.